Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Mo and Ash Vibes. Now we know that express entry draws have been resumed for all the categories, which means that invitations are being issued for the federal skilled worker candidates as well as the Canadian experience class candidates. But still there are a lot of people who do not know the difference between these programs. So we decided that in this video we are going to tell you the difference between these programs so that you can make an informed decision that which program suits you the best. But before we start the video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and share the content. Now first let's talk about the basic difference between these programs. Now Canadian experience class category is for people who have Canadian experience in a skilled job. Now what do you mean by the skilled job? Skilled job means the occupations that fall under the category of NOC O, A or B level are considered as skilled jobs. NOC O are the managerial jobs, NOC A are the professional jobs, and NOC B is the technical jobs or the skilled trade jobs. On the other hand, federal skilled worker category is for people who have skilled work experience, which means they also have experience that falls under the category of NOC O, A or B level, but their experience is foreign experience, so they have skilled foreign work experience. And if you have a work experience in a job that falls under the category of skilled trades, then you may qualify for the federal skilled trade program. This is the basic difference between these three programs. Now let's talk about the minimum requirements for each of these programs for more clarity. First, let's talk about the federal skilled worker category. In order to apply under this category, you must have at least 1 year of continuous work experience in a skilled job that falls under the category of NOC O, A or B level. When they are saying that 1 year of experience, it means you have to complete your 1560 hours. This work should be within last 10 years and it should be a paid work. Also keep a note that the experience should be in a job that matches the job or that matches the NOC code of the job that you are going to use in your application. You must also take an approved language test and you must score a minimum score of CLB 7 in all the 4 abilities, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking. And if you have foreign education, you must get your foreign education assessed from a designated organization, and that education should be equivalent to a Canadian certificate, diploma or a Canadian degree. So it should be equivalent to the Canadian standards of education. Also, if you do not have a valid job offer from a Canadian employer or a valid work authorization in Canada, you must also provide with a proof of funds that would show that you have enough money to support yourself and your family when you're going to move to Canada. Now let's move on to our next category, which is the federal skilled trade program category. In order to apply under this category, you must have at least 2 years of full-time experience or equivalent amount of part-time experience in the last 5 years from when you are going to apply. When they are talking about the skilled trade, they are talking about the groups that you can also see on your screen, like major group 72 that includes industrial, electrical and construction trades, major group 73 that includes maintenance and equipment operation trades, major group 82 supervisors in technical jobs in natural resources, agriculture and related production, major group 92 that includes processing, manufacturing and utility supervisors and central control operators, minor group 632 that includes chefs and cooks, minor group 633 that include butchers and bakers. The major NOC groups are subdivided into different occupations and they are all skill type B. Again, in this case as well, the work should be paid. So if there is any unpaid work or internships, that won't be included. For your skilled trade, there are some job requirements that you must fulfill that would be mentioned in the description of your national occupational qualification. So you have to make sure that you are meeting those job requirements. You must also have a valid job offer of full-time employment for at least 1 year, or you must have a certificate of qualification in that particular skilled trade that has been issued to you by a Canadian territorial, provincial or federal authority. In this case as well, you must take an approved language test in which you must score a minimum score of CLB 5 in listening and speaking and a minimum score of CLB 4 in reading and writing. As far as your educational qualification is concerned, in this category, educational qualification is not really required, but as we know that express entry works on the CRS score. So the better score you have, there are better chances that your rank will be higher in the pool. So definitely if you are going to put your educational qualification as well, it's going to increase your CRS score because it's going to give you some points. So if you have Canadian education, then you can put it as it is, but if you have foreign education, then you must get your foreign education assessed in this case as well from a designated institution. And for the proof of funds, again, the criteria remains the same. If you do not have a valid job offer or a valid work authorization in Canada at the moment, then you will have to show that you have enough funds that would be enough for your family and yourself when you're going to move to Canada. Also, in order to apply under this category, you likely have to go to the province in order to get your trade assessed by the province. You may also need an employer in Canada to provide you with the training and experience. If you want to learn more about getting assessed, you should go to the website of the body that governs trades for the province or territory where you would like to live and work. The process is different depending on where you want to go. You can also see on your screens that different websites have been mentioned for different provinces. Each website will have more details about certificates of qualification to work in that particular province or territory in a specified skilled trade. Also, if your trade is not regulated by a province or territory, it may be federally regulated. You can find who regulates your trade by visiting the website of the Canadian Information Centre for International Credentials. The last category that we are going to talk about is the Canadian Experience Class category. By the name itself, it's very clear that it is for people who have Canadian experience. So in order to apply under this category, you must have at least 1 year of skilled work experience or an equivalent amount of part-time work experience in a job that falls under the category of NOC OA or B level, which means you have to complete your 1,560 hours. Also, you must gain this experience while you have a legal authorization to work in Canada, and you must have a legal resident status in Canada, which means that you won't qualify under this category if you were working but you did not have a temporary resident status in Canada or you did not have a valid legal authorization to work in Canada. You may also not qualify if you are a refugee claimant. In this case as well, the work experience that you have gained should be from a job that is a paid job. Any unpaid job or unpaid volunteer work or internships won't be included. Also, you should keep few things in mind, that 30 hours a week is considered as a full-time job. So if you are working more than 30 hours a week, that won't be counted. Also, if you are working a part-time job, it could be less than 15 hours a week or it could be even more than 15 hours a week. It's just that you have to make sure that you are completing your 1,560 hours. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it is less than 15 hours a week or more than 15 hours a week. So keep in mind that you have to complete 1,560 hours. Also, if you want to work more than one part-time job, that is okay as well. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you are self-employed or if you have experience that you gained while you were a full-time student, then those experience or those work hours won't be counted towards your minimum requirements, which also means that even if you were on a co-op work term, those work experience or those hours won't be counted towards your minimum requirements. As far as your education is concerned, there is no as such any educational requirement in order to apply under this category. But as we know that the express entry system works on the basis of your CRS score. So the more CRS score you have, the higher rank you will have in the express entry pool. So in order to improve your rank in the express entry pool, if you have done your education, you must mention that so that you get points for it. If you have Canadian education, it's fine, but if you have foreign education, then you must get your foreign education assessed so that you can get points for that. In this category, in this case as well, you must take an approved language test in which you must score a minimum score of CLB 7 for NOC O or NOC A level jobs, and a minimum CLB score of 5 for NOC B level jobs. So these are the minimum requirements for each of these categories. So basically, if you have a skilled work experience that falls under the category of NOC O, A or B level, then you may qualify for Federal Skilled Worker Program or a Canadian Experience Class Program. If your experience is in Canada, then you may qualify for the Canadian Experience Class Program, but if your skilled experience is from another country, then you may qualify for a Federal Skilled Worker Program. On the other hand, if your work experience is in a skilled trade job, then you may qualify for the Federal Skilled Trade Program. But you also have to make sure that you meet other minimum requirements for these categories as well, depending on which program you are applying under. Along with that, also keep in mind that if you have a foreign education, you must get your educational credential assessment done from a designated institution. This is really important, because if you are not going to get your education assessed, then you won't get any extra points for that. Another thing is that the experience that you are going to show, it should be in the same job or at least in the same NOC category that you are going to use in your application. Also, if you are showing your work experience in a particular NOC, then you must also be able to show that you performed all the responsibilities and duties that have been set out in the lead statement of the occupational description in the NOC. If you are planning to apply under any of these categories, you must plan to live outside of Quebec, because Quebec has a different system of selecting its own skilled workers. So if you want to move to Quebec, you should go and visit their website and see what their requirements are. So this was our today's video on different express entry programs. I hope that with this video you have gained more clarity on these 3 different programs, and now you understand the difference between the Canadian Experience Class Program, Federal Skilled Trade Program and Federal Skilled Worker Program. Also, I really hope that this video will help you to decide that which program suits you the best. Still, if you have any more questions related to any of these programs, feel free to comment in the section below. So if you have liked today's video, please hit the like button and share the content. Now I will see you in our next video. Until next time, ta-da!